If you've ever struggled to get that nice soft curl on a curling leaf, I may just have the answer for you. One small flip and it might change the way you look at leaves forever. Stay till the end and find out if all this is possible with different brushes. Some of you may recall how we use a leaf and an X-ray leaf to curl leaves. And if you'd like to see the video, it's up here in the corner. Most of us, when we pick up a dagger brush to paint a leaf, we tend to use the long edge at the center of the leaf and create a leaf like this, which is just fine. I like to do it the opposite way, where I stamp the stem, and now I'm going to use the long side on the outside of the leaf. To show you where this works really well is when we do a curling leaf. So I'm going to put the stem there and now stamp it. And now start on this side, and I'm going to use the edge on the outside. I've got a bit of red on the tip so that you can see exactly where I'm going. I'm starting here, rounding it off, keeping to the middle like with the edge, and now I'm twisting the leaf. Up here, I'm just going to grab some more red. So my brush went like this. Now I flip my brush so that the red, of course, again, is on the outside, because this here is all the side of the leaf. Loading up my brush again, and this is the other side of the leaf. I need to flip it over, and there is a beautiful leaf, my friends. So what just happened there? Let's have a closer look. We can change the shape this time. Well, we'll just go like this. I'm going to twist this around and paint alongside the middle vein and then cross over. Now I need to flip my brush over and continue the side of the leaf. This is the one continuous line, so if I go over this line, the side of the leaf. Now let's paint the other side, which incidentally should always be a little bit smaller than the front. And there's a beautiful curved leaf. And see this area up here, well, you could choose to fill that in properly, but chances are it'll look a whole lot better if you just leave it at the original stroke that you made. The center line that we drew as a guide is merely a guide and isn't necessarily the center vein, but it does help you travel along the guiding line and then crossing over. This is a continuous line, and so is the rear one. No matter what you do, this is always a continuous line. So is this one, and so is this one. Let's have a look at our plastic leaf here and see how it can help us maneuver leaves into different positions. For our first example, let's have a look at the middle vein, which is the red line. It looks a bit like a smile, so I'll do that. Now I'm looking at the base of the leaf where it all starts and at the tip of the leaf where it's pointing. We can see that the black line goes over the red line. Let's just continue this line and make our way to the point. The far side of the leaf is marked with a blue line, but we do exactly the same thing. Now let's do another one. In this case now, the smile's more like a frown or an upside down U or V. I can see where the leaf starts at the base and where it finishes, where the point goes, pointing downwards. But another important thing to look at is where the leaf folds over, which is up the top here, and I'll just mark that in with a few dots. And now the black line goes up to the fold and down to the point. And from the back, it goes from the base to the fold and down there. So, look, there's our leaf. Now looking at this very same leaf, Depending on the lines that we'd like to keep or erase, we can have a leaf that looks like A or B. So let's now fold it this way. The smile goes up, it's a bigger smile. So I'm going to go like this. Now the blue's coming over the middle. So here's our base, and we have a look at where the point is. We have a look at where the fold is, and the fold is here. That means that both sides have to touch the fold, and the blue goes over. So it goes down and up. And this one goes down and up. And so there's another leaf. So let's paint those in. Going to use I've got some Sap Green here and a little bit of Lunar red on the tip. Use the curve to have something to follow to the fold and then something to cross. Doesn't have to end up being the vein from the base to the tip. And there's a nice leaf. Okay, let's do it again. I'm going to start here. I'm going to turn this a bit to make it easier. Like that. Now I have to flip my brush so that I can continue the outside. And now to the other side, I can reload my brush and flip it so that the long edge is on the outside. And look at that pretty leaf. Let's do it one more time, then I'll need some more paint. When you use the guiding line and cross over, you get a pretty leaf. But when you actually incorporate the fold within the leaf, then your middle line will be a correct middle vein for the leaf. The outside of the leaf. And now for the other side and the outside. And there's another leaf. Did you know that we can do this with other brushes as well? I'm now going to demonstrate a flat brush. So we need some more paint. All right. This is a 1/2 inch flat brush, and keeping the brush nice and flat on both sides, and then dipping the very tip of it into some creamy red paint. I'll make a middle vein. Come to the middle here, flip it over, and now the other side. When we do this at school, it's really good. We do it live. You can ask me any questions and tell me where you struggle, and then we solve the problems. Hope the red shows up. So there's the red, and flip it, and there we have it. Just do one more. We'll do a maybe a shape like that now. I'm going to start up here. I flipped it, start over here, and I flipped it, and there's our leaf. And like I said before, you don't really have to fill in those gaps. They look quite nice just like that, a little bit mysterious. But do you know what this means? This is getting to the point where it means that it doesn't really matter which brush you use. Now let's use a round brush. This is a Rosemary & Co. Pure Squirrel round brush. I'm making sure my round brush is really full of very tea-like paint. Because I want it to be as runny as water. So it's very thin. And then I'll just add a little red to the very tip. Here's a curve. Make sure I have enough paint on here. And there's the stem. Flip the brush over, and there's our turn. Flip the brush over. So we've done the same thing with a dagger brush, a flat brush, and a round brush. That means that it's not that much about the brush, even though the dagger brush is the easiest to use, possibly. But it's about knowing your leaf, knowing that you're dealing with 3 continuous lines. Make your own leaf. Start with a middle vein and just give it 2 sides. You don't have to cut the leaf out because it's easier to hold if you've got plastic to hold on to. Don't forget we have a base and a tip, and we have a fold. The fold's very important because you'll know where to turn your leaf. But if you don't use the turn and just cross over, it'll still be a nice leaf, but this is a more accurate one when you actually use the fold. Come and see me at school and I'll give you all the help you need. Bye for now.